Justin Fields finally made his debut, at least in a preseason game, for the Chicago Bears. So let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. Here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, hit that big red subscribe button down below. I promise you are not going to regret it. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. Guys, I was live tweeting throughout the entire game, which I will be doing so once the regular season starts. So make sure you're following me on there and Instagram as well. And guys, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, there's a lot to get to. Let's talk about Justin Fields in his debut. All right, people, where do we start? So much to talk about, so much to get to. Let's start with the numbers. All right, let's start with the numbers. And there's a reason why I want to start here, because to me, the preseason isn't about numbers, but I will still give them to you, so get them out of the way first. So Justin Fields went 14 for 20, 142 yards, 1 touchdown passing, and then had 5 carries for 33 yards and a rushing touchdown. All right, he played about 2 quarters of football, so that's what he did in 2 quarters of football. But again, like I mentioned, the preseason is not about numbers. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on you getting the reps and seeing how you look. Now, obviously, if you play well, the numbers reflect that. But you could be throwing 5-yard, check downs the entire game and just rack up yards and do that. So, not concerned with the numbers. Let's actually talk about what I saw out there on the field, okay? It was a rough start. All right, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. It was a rough start for Justin Fields. Went 3 and out in his first drive. And it took him some time to get up to the NFL speed, right? And that is totally okay. Totally okay. That's exactly what the preseason is for, is you get your first live experience of an NFL game with the crowd, with everything, with guys tackling you, and you see how you react to it. So Justin Fields had a bit of a rough start, okay? So let's talk about the bad, and I will get to the good because there was plenty of good here. He had passes where he lofted them up in the air. He had a pass like that. It could have been intercepted. He tried doing too much on one of the plays, and he ended up fumbling it. Now, thankfully, he recovered, but that could have easily been going the other direction. So, again, there was plenty there in terms of the beginning when he was trying to get his legs under him and kind of figure things out, all right? But this is the thing. Once he figured it out, he figured it out. And that's the thing about Justin Fields, folks. And keep in mind, the Bears receivers and tight ends could not get open to save their lives. They could not get any separation. Justin Fields was not playing with the starters. He was playing with the backups. And the Miami Dolphins DBs, credit to them, their defense, they were absolutely ferocious. Like, they were not letting the Bears receivers get open. And so that made it tough because Justin Fields had a couple of pinpoint throws. He literally put it where you should, and the DBs got to it before the Bears receiver tight ends could. So even early on, Justin Fields was still finding guys open, but he was almost had to force to throw them open because they couldn't separate. All right? But like I mentioned, once he got going, it was a wrap. Okay? Started getting comfortable, started to get into the rhythm. And now we're talking about Justin Fields. This was the thing, right? When he was using his legs to find guys open, oh boy, that was a beauty, right? Because you're talking about him tricking the defense because they have to respect his legs, but always keeping his eyes up down the field because he could, obviously look and pass. So to me, that was the best part about it. Justin Fields' acceleration is insane, picked up chunk yards with his legs, and then of course he had the touchdown. His first touchdown was a rushing touchdown, which is great. But once he started getting into the rhythm, I mean, we're talking about darts, absolute darts. There was a pass where it was right on the money, and one of the Bears receivers dropped it. So imagine if that's Allen Robinson or Darnell Mooney or one of the Bears starters. They don't drop that. So Justin Fields, the thing that I noticed the most, that was my biggest takeaway from Justin Fields in this game, was the poise, the calmness. He never looks like he's rattled or rushed by anything. He just sits back in the pocket, and he analyzes and he tries to see things and how they are. And there's never a level of concern with him, right? It's just calm. It'll be okay. Even with the rough start, I never worried. He was calm. Let's get through this. Next play mentality. And that's exactly what you want from your quarterback. We saw this too many times with previous Bears quarterbacks where they would look angsty in the pocket. They would, looked like they were scared. And you even see that with Andy Dalton, with the Nick Foles. You saw that last year with Mitchell Trubisky, or the years that he was here. So to me, with Justin Fields, the biggest thing I notice is the command, right? It's not even a physical gift that he's got plenty of them, but the biggest thing is the command of the offense and being able to be poised, being able to be calm, being able to be collected under pressure. That was the biggest thing I took away. So love that about Justin Fields. His legs, obviously, accelerating very, very quickly on those. So the second touchdown was a great play call by Matt Nagy, to his credit. Wide open Jesse James for a touchdown. So Justin Fields, man, rough start at the beginning, and then once he got going, he was like really clicking. You love to see that. So to me, I think it was a fantastic debut. You see the future. You see what Justin Fields brings. He's electric. He can beat you with his arm and his leg. But again, he is a passing quarterback who can run, not a running quarterback who can pass. So keep that in mind with Justin Fields. And imagine if he's going up against, or if he's going up with the Bears' first team starters, right? The Allen Robinsons, the Darnell Mooneys of the world, and he's got David Montgomery in the backfield and Cole Kmet out there. So this is with the second stringer. So I was very excited with what I came up with. We had all of the media, the national media. This is so rare, right? All the national media is, singing Justin Fields' praises. I saw LeBron James even talk about how special he is. You had, a bunch of the media guys, Dan Orlovsky, Louis Riddick. Everybody's raving about Justin Fields. It feels weird, to be honest, to have this much hype around the Bears and a quarterback for the Bears. So to me, I liked Justin Fields' debut. I thought he showed me, exactly what I wanted to see. Not everything's always going to be rainbows and sunshine. You got to be able to go through the rough patches and then bounce back and stay calm and collected. And that's what Justin Fields shows. So I'm excited, folks. Let's see what happens. The gap is closing between him and Andy Dalton. Now, Andy Dalton only played one series, but I don't know how much longer Andy Dalton's going to be able to hold off Justin Fields, especially with the pressure from not just Bears fans. We're talking about the media. Everybody's talking about Justin Fields. So that pressure is going to be felt. Let's see when we actually see Justin Fields in a live NFL regular season game. And I'm excited for that. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Boy, it's early, but it feels great to have a potential young franchise quarterback. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed history, as always. Thanks for watching.